If you weren't a math professor, what would you be?
If I wasn't a math professor, what would I be?
Probably be an investor.
Not a math professor.
Yep, if
Okay.
you weren't a math professor.
What would you be if you weren't a math professor?
Dead.
I'll be a farmer.
A fireman.
No, farmer.
Farmer.
If I weren't a math professor, I'd play the trombone. With the Utah Symphony, of course.
Oh, very good. You wouldn't want to be a circus clown or nothing like that?
No.
Okay. If you weren't a math professor, what would you be?
I would own a bookstore.
Great.
And why is that?
I like books.
I'd be a rancher.
If you didn't work in the math department, what would you do?
Nothing.
Great. Why do
I
you
would
say
retire.
I think I'd probably be an electrical engineer
that? Why is that?
because that's where I started out
Oh.
before I went into mathematics.
I would like to be one of those pilots at the Reno air races.
Okay.
Is that what they call those guys?
I'm not a math professor. I would be an actor.
An actor. What kind of movies would you be in?
Comedy.
I could see that.
I would be a bum on the street, out of work, unloved, unrespected. No one would like me. I feel loved and appreciated here.
If you were not a math professor, what would you be?
A computer programmer or an electrical engineer.
I think I would be a dog walker or a professional shopper.
If I weren't a math professor, I would work for the FBI.
And if you want to donate money to my bank account, you may, because I don't want to end up a bum in the street.
A computer programmer.
Computer programmer.
Well,
Computer engineer?
A computer engineer?
Yeah,
Cool. Where would you want to work?
of course. I would like to work at some.
You don't know.
And as you know, the math department does not pay really well.
Investment banker.
An investment banker. Would you work on Wall Street? If you were not a math professor, what would you be?
A big computer company like.
If I were not a math professor, I would either play the flute in a professional symphony or I would make prosthetic devices for people.
Like a Google or.
Google?
Yeah.
Cool.
What would you be?
I'd be a math professor.
If you weren't a math professor, what would you be?
Oh, I'd probably be an operations research professor.
Max, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be Maximus the Gladiator at the circus of whatever it's called in Rome.
If it couldn't be science or math related?
Well, when I graduated from my PhD, half the schools I interviewed with were business schools. So I'd be a business school professor.
I'd probably be an explorer.
If I went back to school now, I'd probably study molecular biology or biochemistry.
I think I would have created my own fashion line called All Black.
I think I'm an academic by nature. I'd probably be a professor of something else,
Of what?
like history.
History?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think on the side, I would have done the Mary Mormon Matchmaker as well.
I like professing.
And then I think I probably would have found myself as the personal assistant to Michelle, because she kind of needs it.
So if you want to donate money to the Lonette Stoddard Memorial account,
Memorial.
well, it's going to be memorial.
If you were not a math professor, what would you be?
I would be a shepherd.
Can you elaborate?
I just would take care of sheep.
Probably, from myself, I'd probably be a historian.
I would be a professional pineapple picker in Hawaii.
If I weren't a math professor, I would be unemployed.
Gee, that's a hard question. I guess I would want to be the headmaster at Hogwarts.
It would fit my disposition and I could boss Lynette around.
Lynette, what do you have to say?
I think even headmaster at Hogwarts is not going to boss Lynette around.
If you weren't a math professor, what would you be?
Well, being a math professor is my other category. So for a lot of years, people would say, if you weren't an economist or if you weren't a software engineer, what would you be? And I said I'd be a math professor. So I don't have another. I'm out.
Okay.
You're in the right spot.
All the way.